Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo, Furst here, Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi here in Kodesh. I'm substituting temporarily for Rabbi Levitt. We're learning Gemora right now, Bava Kama, Daf Mem Daled Amid Aleph by the Mishnah. Yeah, let's continue with the questions we were discussing. There are some new things we want to try and discuss as well. Go ahead. Would you like to
You read the Mishnah? I'll read the Mishnah and then I'll go through the whole thing. You explain. I'll read it or you explain.
Okay.
שור שהיה מתחכך בכותל ונפל על אדם, הוא התכוון להרוג את הבהמה והרג את האדם לכנעני והרג בן ישראל נפלים והרג בן קיימה פטור.
And so as we said the other day, we're going to have 4 cases here, correct? 4 cases. Okay.
You have sure that told on the wall, and then we had a behemah that wanted the shul one killed the behemah at the end.
And this guy belonged to yourself. The Hema B'Hariga Adam instead. Right? So you had one with the Koisel, one with the Odom, and then you have
Omed Kochavim, right? They had the Nefem. And all 4 of them, a Loba Kavanah?
Yeah, all these 4 of them without Kavanah, correct. Meaning, the first case is probably the least of the Chidushim, because there you understand that it really, maybe perhaps didn't even know anyone was on the other side of the Kaisa, right? It was really just an indirect thing. It was not, apparently, it was not having any intention to do damage. In the other 3 cases, it was intending to damage, just that it missed the mark and it hit something else. Yeah, the first case is apparently they had no kavanah to damage.
Omar Shmuel.
Yeah, you were any particular questions on the Mishnah?
Well, what if in the Mishnah, if you wanted to kill a Yehudi, and then a particular person that was a Jew, and then he killed somebody else, he got out of the way and he killed somebody else who was a Jew, would he also be like Patur on that?
I would think maybe not. I mean, the Gemora should really speak about such a case. I mean, maybe the Gemora will mention such a case. The Mishnah doesn't discuss it, right?
Are we talking about the one Sean over here that did all these things, or the 4 different kinds?
I guess 4, yeah, not the same one, but 4 different events.
4 different events.
4 different events. These are examples, 4 different examples. Yeah.
They didn't mention it though.
It's possible that it could be one?
Yeah, you could have one.
שור נפל, והרג הבהמה, והרג האדם.
And you also have to think, when we're talking about a muad, or we're talking about a tam.
Yeah.
That's part of the question also. And but again, like even if it would be one shore, so you have a case. The beginning of the Masechta speaks about making a muad. And let's say it kills the shore killed the person. The next it killed a camel. The next it killed another shore. The next one it kills a goat. Right. So you see that it doesn't really have any pattern, unless you happen to see that there's a pattern. But to create a muad, you have to have a pattern, right? It has to be killing or attacking and being successful in its attack on certain specific victims. And if there are various victims, it's just showing that the animal's not particular about anything. Just is violent in general, right? To make a muad, it has to have some kind of a pattern. Unless you say it's muad l'kol. If you find out that it has such a pattern, it's considered to be a muad for all kinds, anything, whatever it's just a violent animal.
More.
Yeah.
אמר שמואל, פטור ממעיטה, וחייב בכופר.
It's talking about kofir. That means all these cases here are muad. There's no kofir without being a muad.
So that's a corollary, right? You have to have be chayav kofar, it has to be a mood. So apparently, this is a shur, this is a shur, which is a mood. Yeah.
He's talking about all the cases. He's only talking about the case where he's with the wall, that he knocked down the wall. What about the other cases? Would also be talking about a mood also? Why did the Gemara specifically talk about only one case?
Right.
Because that was the first one? First case? So it talks about the first case? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a question.
פטור ממיתה וחייב זה. פטור ממיתה. זאת אומרת, מיתה, that means סקילה?
Yeah.
So אין סקילה, אין כופר. So how do you have kofar over here?
Oh, that's Rav. That's Rav. That's Rav's the opinion.
That's the shita.
But Shmuel has the other opinion. He wants the.
Remember, where do we have the Makokus Rav and Shmuel about that? Remember?
Shmuel. That was Rabbi Yochanan. It's on Mem.
I think Mem
Gimel Amud Bet. In the middle, they have to. There's this takeover. There's a takeover there with two dots, and then it's in the middle of the page. Middle, it says takeover.
Yeah.
There's two dots there. Then and it says Kiata Rav Dimi, Ma Rav Yochanan. Got that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Ma Rav Yochanan Kofer, Ma Tamil Ma Im Kofer. Rabot Kofer Shlo B'Kavanah. So this is Rav Yochanan's opinion.
So you see there's a kofar without kavanah, right? So I have to understand if that's going to fit into our case or something like that. What does it mean below kavanah? When the Gemora mentioned that below kavanah, what does that mean?
This is who came first, Shmuel or Rabbi Yochanan?
Shmuel, Tsama, Polig. Shmuel came first, if I'm not mistaken.
So that means Rabbi Yochanan is like Shmuel. He learns the Drusha of.
Yeah, exactly. If you look at Rashi, the Rabos Kofer Shlo B'Kavanah, that's about 6 lines up from the bottom of the wide lines. You see that? About 6 lines at the end of the line. The Rabos Kofer Shlo B'Kavanah.
Which Mem Gimel Amud Bet?
Mem Gimel Amud Bet, yeah.
Both have it, Shlo B'Kavanah?
Yeah, you have it there? So that's the end of the line. Then you go to the next line. Avogav, Avogav, the Ein Ashur B'Skila, there's still Kofer, Pligi Adarabba. This opinion's arguing with that of Rabbah. Right? So that'll be...
That's on the page before here.
Right.
Rabbah.
Okay.
He learns that it's got Niskal, and there's no Kofer.
That's in Kofer Yushat.
Right.
That's Mem Aleph.
More Rabbah. It's in the middle of the page. More Rabbah. Shoshe Emit Ben Chorin Shlo B'Kavanah Patur MiKofer.
Mem Aleph? Was it Mem Aleph?
So Ashur Niskal v'gam ba'alav yimat im kofer yushat alav kol zman she'ashur b'skila ba'alim b'mishlim kofer ein ashur b'skila ein ba'alim b'mishlim kofer. That's Rabbah.
There's no skila, there's no kofar. That's according to Rabbah. And
that's also Rav's opinion also in our Mishnah.
Very good.
So there's, I don't know who started out with this opinion, and I see that there's more than one for each opinion. Who started this opinion? Was it Rabbah that came before Rav? Rav came more Rabbah. Rav was before Rabbah?
Rav is Katanopal. Rav was one of the first Amoroyim. Yes, so Rav came first.
First of all, Rabbah, he's working with the Mishpat over there, and Kofer Yushat.
Right.
And Shmuel, you don't hear any story. You don't hear any Mishpat over here. He doesn't have any. I know he doesn't have Basis here.
There's no puzzle to prove. What's the proof for Shmuel? What's the proof for Shlomo? That there's, even though there's no skila, there's kofer.
He knows like Rabbi Yochanan.
Mm-hmm.
The na'im kofer, kofer im kofer, avish shelo b'kavana. The im is superfluous.
It's extra.
Oh, the im, that's
the im is extra, right? Very good.
So you can have a kofer without kavanah to kill. So you don't need short skull to have kofer. You don't need.
So that goes like Shmuel.
It goes like, yeah.
That goes like Shmuel.
Like Rabbi Yochanan is like a Shmuel. Shmuel's like Rabbi.
And let's stay with Im, right?
That's right. Yochanan is based on the drasha of im.
But Im also goes Im Kofa Yushatarav. That's the same. So they're using both of them using the same pasuk.
Yeah.
Yeah, true enough. That's Mem Aleph Lamed Aleph, correct?
Yeah.
Mem
Gimel Amud Aleph. Mem Aleph?
I think it was Mem Aleph, if I'm not mistaken.
What's Mem Aleph?
Where was the Mishpat
The
of
Mishnah is on Mem Aleph.
we had Im Kofa Yushatarav.
That pasuk was Mem Gimel, right?
It's Mem Gimel Amud Aleph. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a machlokes between Shmuel and Rav.
Right.
Shmuel says, "Patom imita l'chaya b'kofer." He learns how he learns. And Rav Amar, "Patom mizeh umizeh." Mashma meaning the pator that's written in the Mishnah is going on two things. Pator is also patomi.
Where are you now?
Back in the Mishnah, our Mishnah. It says pator at the end of the Mishnah. So Rab learns that pator is going on two things. He's pator mimita, and he's also pator the kofer. That's what he learns that pator. So he learns the Mishnah. That's what he learns the Mishnah. According to Shmuel, the Rav, the Mishnah is talking about a muad. How can he be talking about muad if there's no kavanah? He's not a muad to kill. He's killing without kavanah yet. So how can he talk about a muad according to their opinion?
Maybe it helps to see there's a Rashi here and then Gimel Amud Aleph, you know? It's, you see where the, not long lines, but the wider lines toward the bottom of the Amud, there must be a good 10, 12 lines in. Ein shashur b'skila. If the shur is not b'skila, ein bailim mishalim kaifer. There's no skila for the shur, there's no chiyuv kaifer for the bailim. Right? And the Rebbe Lazar on the Omer, the ale. Have that place?
Yeah.
Well, you can read it if you want. It's referring back to Mem Aleph on the base over there. Right? Anything, go ahead if you like to recommend it.
Okay. Ein ashov skila, ein abalim mishlim kofim. Rabbi Eliezer damar leil. Ein dini ela b'mitkaven. Ein dini elam mitkaven.
And we don't judge. We don't judge the shur. Elabim mischabin lahari. Meaning that's what the Gemora said over there. We don't judge the shur for misa unless it was mischabin to kill. Right? In Polygalog, and over there there's a machlokus.
To me, it's the rich crowd, the miftarim, and there's a pursuit to make him bator betam.
By the time you need to have a pasuk, right? Shlo b'kavana. When the time killed below kavana, you need a pasuk. You need a pasuk to exempt the owner of the shur tam when the shur killed below kavana. The halal. From this you can infer,
The muad shlo b'kavana. Called the muad shlo b'kavana.
Leave the brackets alone for a moment. Then what are you going to do? What can you infer about a muad that killed below kavana?
He's patur.
Patur
means chay b'kofre.
So that would be the inference we'd make that the fact that you need a pasuk by a tam, right, to tell you that he's patur, right? So therefore, if you have a sure muad, right, even though it's patur for me, so it'll be chayav in kofre. Okay.
It sounds like Shmuel.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mishnah. For Rabba, so go on.
Yeah.
For Rabba, across mich. Rabba is supported by a pasuk.
So in order for Rav to have pasuk the way he wants to, he needs the support of a pasuk.
I think in the Kaman, the Mishnah above.
The Kaman is later on. That's going to be. I'm just going to double check and see. Mem Dalet Amid Aleph. That's going to be our Mishnah, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be our Mishnah. Yeah, that's going to be, Rashi's referring to our Mishnah, right?
Mm-hmm.
We established it in the Mishnah later on, Kivase, that's going to be according to Rabbah. Good.
The high diktani in this book that we learned out in Matniknin from Mishnah, Bator, Mikofia, Umiskila Kama.
What does it mean, Potter? I mean, when that Mishnah says Potter, right?
Right.
What was it Potter from? Skila. That's exactly how we're learning, right? That Patur in our Mishnah is a Patur from Skila, and that's going to be according to Rabbah. Good. So that's going to bring us back to where we are now. You are. You're good. Right? Now Rashi is very key in understanding this Mishnah. Right?
Okay.
So this Mishnah, according to Rashi, there is coming out to be like the opinion of Reuven.
Isn't that Rav's opinion? Is Bator Mizeh Umizeh? It says Bator Miz Skila Mimita V'gam Mikofeh. Is that Rav?
Let's see, how can we figure that out? Well, what is it? 1 second. Very good. Look at the Rashi over here. The Rashi over here.
Yeah, Rashi, Bava ma patur mizeh u'mizeh.
Okay.
Kedavish Rabba. It's in the Al Mishnah, Mem Dalet and Mudalef. Al Mishnah.
כן,
Got that? Rabba ma patur mizeh u'mizeh. Got that? Kedavish Rabba Lael. That we just saw. Ashor Yisakel. Kol zman she'asov b'skila. Fa'alim shlamim kofir.
Kozman, that's the din of Rava, right? Kozman, the shur's beskila, the filing have to pay kosher. But if it's believable kavana, there's no skila by. If there's no kavana, there's no skila. If there's no skila, then it's patur from kosher.
Who originated this opinion? Was it Rav or Rabba?
Well, Rav is earlier than Rava.
Oh.
So I imagine it was Rava. Or Rav.
זה לא בכוונה, נכון?
לא בכוונה. Okay, go. Let's start the Gemora again. I'm a Shlomo.
Okay.
אומר שמואל, פטור ממיתה וחייב בכופר.
That's Shmuel's opinion. There's a patur from Misa, but there's a chiyuv of kosher.
ורב אמר, פטור מזה ומזה.
It's patur from Misa and also from kosher.
והמים, הטעם הוא, כאמר רב, במועד ליפול על בני אדם בבורות.
Oh, so now hold on. This is a question already.
That's what
Yeah, this is a question. Meaning what? Look at Rashi.
למה?
Yeah, Lama. Meaning Rashi says Vahatamu. It's a tam. So what does it matter if it's a tam? Take a look at Rashi. Hatamu. It's a tam. Feel Laman did Darish, even according to the new Darshans, Im Koifer. What does it mean by Im Koifer? How do you mean, right? Im Koifer meaning that's a muid. How do you mean that's a muid? Shelo b'kavana, right? Haitam, bechichuch zeh.
What does it mean by a field among the Darish? What's that field? What's it coming from? Even according to the opinion that the one that makes a drasha on Im Kofir, even in that, even according to him, Hanimil the Muad is talking about it's a Muad over there. Shlo b'kavana.
Right.
Talking about Muad. And here we're talking about, he says, V'haitamhu b'chichuch zeh. So I feel that the one that makes the drasha, what's the significance of that? I don't understand this. I feel the mind that the Rish, even, why is it saying that? What does Rashi mean by this?
Okay, meaning Im Koifer again. Where's the drush of Im Koifer? That's on Mem Gimel, correct?
Give me the Rashi over there?
Well, first let's look at the Gemora. Right in the middle almost. I'm a Rabbah. This is Rabbah. I'm a Rabbah. Mem Gimel Amar Aleph. About just a line or two below the middle point. I'm a Rabbah. Shur Shaimis Ben Chori. Go ahead.
אומר רבא, שור שהניס בן חורין, שלא בכוונה פטור. בכופר, שנאמר אסור יסכל וגם בעליו ימץ. ואם כופר יושת עליו, כל זמן שהשור בסקילה, בעלים משלמים כופר.
You see that? That's the Maimer of Rabbah. I'm a Rabbah. Shur Hameis Ben Chorin, Shelo B'Kavana, is Pater, the Koifer. Rabbah says that a shore right, that kills a ben chori, if it was without kavan, he's patur from kofer. Shenemar, ashur yisakal gam ba'alav gamos. What does it mean? Im kofer yashus alav. If there's going to be kofer that's placed upon him, right? Calls man shashur b'skila, and the whole in any situation, calls man in any situation shashur b'skila, the ba'alim shalom kofer. Any situation where the shore is going to get skila, the ba'alim have to pay kofer. Ain't a shur b'skila. If there's no chiyuv on the shore to be stoned, ain't ba'alim b'shalom kofer. The ba'alim don't have to pay kofer. Right, that's what Rashi is referring to. Our Rashi by us is referring to that. When it says, "Afilu l'man d'gash im kofer hanimin lebamud v'shelo kavana."
What does it mean by afilu? Even the one
Yes,
specifically that's learning the drasha about im kofer.
right.
What does it mean by that? Afilu, even him, even according to him.
Right.
That's, what does it mean by that?
Again, we're trying to explain about a tam. If we have tam, who would argue our Mishnah is referring to a tam,
Right.
and according even to that mandom and the darsh is in kofer, ba'alim mishal kofer, hanimili. That's talking about muad below kavana. The high tam who mechichu zeh. This case of our Mishnah is a tam mechichu zeh. The mechichu zeh is referring to the wall, right?
How do we know it's talking about a tam in the Mishnah?
Yeah, I wondered myself. Good point.
It doesn't say.
How do we know what it must be talking about a tam?
Seems to even Shmuel is talking about a muad, and also Rav is seemingly talking about a muad.
Right.
So how did they come? How did they get to that? How did they get to that? It's talking about a muad. And then the Gemora is asking on them, Amaya Tamu. What are you talking about, Rav Shmuel Rav? It's not talking about him, it's talking about a tam. So it's making it's makshe on Shmuel Rav. How do they know it's talking about a muad? It doesn't mention anything about the Mishnah about a muad. You don't know.
Right.
That's the kusha on Rav Shmuel.
Right.
How do they learn? It's a muad.
First of all, that's the story that I guess we were talking about yesterday. Ipil ve'nafal.
Right.
Yeah.
Ve'nafal, if he ipil, as that he
Kavanah.
Kavanah.
But that, yeah. But here the word in the Mishnah is talking about nafal.
Nafal.
Just by itself nafal. He didn't have any kavanah to throw it down on a person.
So he didn't do igach. There's no words of igach over here. There was no game over here.
It's even a kushya even more on Rabbi Shmuel. How did Rabbi Shmuel learn that it's more? Where do they see that?
Yeah, it's the whole game over here is there's no word of igach over here.
Yeah.
Right.
So so he failed. Nafal. Should have said three. Nafal. He didn't do anything. He didn't. There's no thing that he felt it to be muad over here.
There's no proof that it's a muad.
No, there's not. You don't see anything that could.
Can you be a muad without kavanah? Can you be a muad? Can you be muad by throwing down the wall on a person and then they get killed? But they had no kavanah to do it intentionally. Can you still be called a muad in that case? Is that what they're talking about?
You have too many questions about that.
Without kavanah.
No,
So let's.
questions.
What's the point about being a muad is as follows: that you have to have testimony about this animal, right, with the owner present, and we have to say that this animal is a dangerous animal.
You have 4 times already. It's written on Komani, four different things, and never said yiga.
Right.
That's 4 times.
Right. Right.
Wait, only the first one is not yiga.
None of them
yiga, right?
None of them yiga. Yes, the word yiga.
Naskavin l'harig. Yeah, it's naskavin l'harig. Hezebin l'harig yesod.
That's not talking about yiga? That's Yigach. Only the first part of this is talking about pushing down the wall, throwing down the wall. The other ones are talking about Yigach. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I
Not
mean,
sure.
I could have killed him maybe with any, let's say, bit him to death. Again. The Rashi brings down in the by the clothes in Devarim, he brings down that a donkey, one of the curses of the donkeys would bite people. And the person gets bit by a white donkey, there's no hope for him. So,
They have big teeth.
yeah.
So this first case about the wall is different than the other cases.
Right.
Is that right?
Sure, yeah. It's different. It's different in a few different ways, no?
In one way, they're all the same because it's big covenant. It's big covenant. But the way he killed, that's what I understand. How can it be considered a muad if it's without covenant? How is Rabin and Shmuel the opinion that it's talking about a muad? Where do they see that? And unless you say that a muad can be without covenant.
So I have a little footnote here from the Rashba. He says like this. I'll just read it. I don't know if you have it in yours.
No.
He says Perish. He says Vahad Tamhu. You know, that's a tam. Perish Rashi. The Tamhu b'chochofu. Means it's tam in using the wall to scratch on his back and to kill someone. Mira Mishum Distam Shur the Katani. Hainu tam. They learned that whenever it's mentioned as shur in a general, just the word shur, that's in general talking about a tam. Achi perish shumoyed. So in general, that's the Rashba. The Rashba is learning whenever you, I don't know, in all cases, but in general, when you see the expression shur in the Mishnah, that shur you can assume that that's talking about a tam. Not a mood. If we were talking about a mood, we would have mentioned that it was a mood.
So we're talking about all four or just the first one?
Yeah, for all four.
So you didn't say Kido with Yigach or something like that, or you didn't say Moed,
So there's no mood here. It's all Tom.
So what happens to Rabbi Shmuel? How do you understand it's a muad?
Well, just take a look at the lashon of the Gemora. Amar Shmuel, Pater Mimisa v'chayav v'koifer. Rav Omer, Pater Mizem Muzem. Pater from both Skila and is also Pater from Koifer.
So how do you get kofir here then? I think there's only more that pays kofir. So how do you understand Rabbi Shmuel that's talking about a muad? If that's the case, what the Rashba says, that's a stam shur's tam.
Shmuel goes like
Rav Shmuel
Shmuel goes like Rav Yochanan. Rav Yochanan says you can. That's.
How does that go together with what the Rashba is saying? Stam shur's tam. That's not the way Shmuel Rabbi learned it. That's what they are, my heart tamu. It's a kusha on Rabbi Shmuel.
Right.
It means that Rabbi Shmuel are saying that it's a muad.
Well, koifer only exists by a muad.
Only muad.
Right. So what's koifer have to do with it? That's the whole.
Right.
That's the whole point. Amar Shmuel, Pater Mimisa, v'chayav v'koifer. Rav Omer, Pater Mizem Muzem. 1 second. The Gemora asks, "Well, hi tamu."
Right.
We no reason to be talking about kofer over here. Kofer only exists if you're talking about a mood. But where's anyone talking about a mood over here? That's I think what Rashi means. And Rashi says, right, with tamhu, filu aman the dorish in kofer. If it's kofer, darshans that pasuk hani meaning the mood below kavana. That's only going to help you if it's only about a muad below kavana. By tam hu b'chichuch. And this is a tam, this sure that we're referring to is a tam b'chichuch. He's never done this before. Take a look at a couple of lines of Tosus. See the Tosus over here? There, it's the third or the fourth Tosus. V'ha tamhu. There are two of them, but this is the second one in the middle, almost right in the middle of the page. V'ha tamhu. Right? Read what the first 10 words of Tosus or so.
V'ha tamhu. Hamakshan tzivor shemitchachech b'kotel. The one that's saying the Kushya. Makshan tzivor shemitchachech b'kotel apilo. Lo b'mitchaven apilo al b'nei adam.
See, he never had intention to do that.
Never intention to do that.
Okay, now he's going to try and prove the point, but he says that's the pshat. He's saying pshat. Hamakshir, the one who's asking v'hatamu, that's a question the Gemora asks. Hamakshir, the one who's asking this question the Gemora sovereign, he's of the opinion shemechachech v'korsel apilo. He was rubbing on the. Meaning shemechachech v'korsel lahapiloi. He was rubbing on the wall in order to knock it down.
But not on a person.
But lo mischaben apilo al bnei adam. But not that he should throw it down on a person. So that's a question. How you understand the first 4 words of the Mishnah? Shor shahayim mischachik b'koisel.
Right.
V'noifel ala adam.
Right.
Right. He was mischachik. He was rubbing against the wall to what? To get a itch out of his back, or to knock down the wall.
Right.
You have to ask him.
Yeah.
How do you know these things?
How do you know? Exactly. How are you going to know?
If that was the case, it would have been Chai Mita.
Had he what? Because what? Had he been
Mitchaven, to knock down a wall on a person,
right?
it would be Chai Mita. He had Chavanah to kill. On this he's Makshe. V'hatamhu, shefilu asa ken kama pamim v'harag b'nei adam lo b'kavana ein muad la'arog adam. He didn't have any cover. He's not a muad la'arog adam. He's not considered a muad.
Because he hasn't had any intention to kill
him down, right?
So he can't be. That's one of the things we're trying to determine. He can't be a muad unless he has kavanah to kill.
Right.
Right? He may have killed, but that's not going to make him into a muad. A muad must have intention to kill.
Right.
However, again, technically, how are you going to determine that? That's a technical question, right? But you have to have intention to kill to be made into a muad.
Right.
The other 3?
Same thing. You never cover that.
Same little cover.
Yeah.
Maybe he had covenant to kill, but he killed the wrong one. But he didn't have covenant to kill.
Right. There's no kavanah to kill.
Well, let's see. Let's go into Gemora maybe. To the okay. But my hatamu kadamar Rav. As it says Rav Muad. How does Rav explain himself? How does he learn that it is a muad? Rav muad yipol al bnei adam. That it was a muad to cause to fall on people the borot. Achanami also in our case muad, not the muad the litkachech al bnei adam kutamim. Is coming up to knock down the wall on a person. The katalim, yachi, if that's the case.
If that's the case,
bakatlo, he's chayamita.
Because he's intentionally killing people.
So he has to figure out how he didn't have kavanah to kill, how he is patur. The Shlomo, it's well and good hatam. There when it's talking about. When falling down in the bore, Chaza Yeruka, that he saw Yeruka, he saw a green vegetable, whatever, when it fell, and he fell. He wanted to eat something.
He was hungry, he ran after
he ran out and wanted to eat something.
He
fell, and I guess he fell in somehow on a person, Elahacha, that's why it's put over there. Zachai Mitanel example. Now what do we say about our case in the Mishnah? Elahacha, b'mai ikal meimah. In our case, what can we say about that?
Good.
Hachanami. Hachanami, also in our case, b'mitchachech b'kot elahanato.
Oh, so that's going to be different than what we originally said. If he's what's the point of the shore rubbing against the wall? Is he rubbing against the wall?
He was hungry.
Or not?
He was hungry.
Yeah. Oh.
What
do you want to knock the wall down?
He wanted just like scratch his back, I think.
Yeah, the hanaso hanaso means all he's interested in is scratching his back. He could care less about the wall falling down. In fact, oppositely, he wants the wall to be there. Next time he gets a scratch, he wants an itch, he wants something to scrape. He knocks the wall down, he'll be in trouble. You have to find another wall. He doesn't want to knock the wall down. But that's not like Tosa started off at the beginning. Okay. L'kach kamer Shmuel, right? That's why Shmuel says, Heichen mishchachet b'koso la'anosoi, in the case where he's going to be scratching on the koso for his hana, for his pleasure.
What are you reading now?
I was just reading the Tosfos.
Tosfos.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back and do this. Start again. Let's review the Gemora again. Amar Shmuel. Let's start again.
אמר שמואל, ממיתה, אמר שמואל, פטור ממיתה וחייב בכופר. ורב אמר, פטור מזה וזה. והמאי, הטעם הוא, הטעם הוא, this is a טעם, דאמר רב, במועד ייפול על בני אדם בבורוץ. החינמי במועד התחכך על בני אדם, מה קורה פה עכשיו? ובקטלים היא אחי בר קטלה. But he was dangerous.
Meaning if we're talking about Hachanami b'muid, this Hachik al b'nei adam b'koselim, what does this mean? Well, how do you understand what this means? Hachanami b'muid, Hachik al b'nei adam b'koselim. What's that supposed to mean?
This is before that he was dangerous.
Because what does he do? Right. If we're talking about a mu'id that he's rubbing on the people through the walls, he's using the walls to kill people, that's going to be talking about I'll be a mu'id. This sure is going to be obviously chayav misa. Alright? Mm-hmm. So that can't be the case with Roy. Our Mishnah says he's potter.
Right.
So this goes out. שמע נתן, יחסה ירוקה. ונפל אלו נכון, חי. נפל אלו
Hakanami, we want to say the Mishnah is talking about a shur. If it's talking about a mu'id, See, you know, the Lashon of the Gemora is not clear to me. The way I would learn the Gemora, right? Is chachet al b'nei adam, the coastly. He rubs against people on walls, and he gets a person between him and the wall and crushes them. That's why I would read the Mishnah, the Gemora, but I'm not sure if that's what it's talking about. How do you understand this lesson? Hachanami, we're talking about, right? That Hatam Amai Hatamu Kiramara B'Moy the Pilo Al B'nei Adam B'Boros. What if that's the case?
Somebody was a muad here.
Yeah.
Now the muad will kick Al B'nei Adam. The Katalim is muad to appeal at the wall on people. That's what the Gemara says. Yachik Bachat Lahu. If that's the case, he's liable to be stoned for this.
Right.
Because they were kavanah.
See, that's right.
That can't be what he's talking about.
Certainly with
That's
obviously, that's talking about, if that's what we're talking about, he's a bar katalu, and we know that the Mishnah says he's clearly putter, so that can't be what we're talking about.
Right.
So he said, now we have to reverse, and it says, Bishlema Hasam.
Maybe he wasn't going to scratch his back, maybe he's always hungry.
Yeah.
But there's difference. There's no difference. This scratches his back or is hungry.
Yeah, that's all for Hanasa, that's all for his benefit. He's trying to get better. When a shore is a damaging shore, he's not doing it for his benefit. He's doing it because he's violent. Right? But he's doing it, if he sees a yerek, he sees a food, he goes after the food, he has to rub his back, that's for his benefit. Right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. However, more than well, over there, Chosam, that's talking about that mimer of Rav, I think. B'moid the peel up and Adam b'boirus. In that case that we're talking about of Rav, where is Muad? He's already a status of being a Muad to have people push people into the boirois, right? That's talking about Chosam. That's talking the Chazi Yerek v'Nofel. That's where he saw.
You didn't mean to kill anybody. He was just trying to eat something.
So, but so what does it mean, Moed then? If that's going to be the way you want to set up Rav, so what do you have a right to say that you're the Lashon Moed, right? How does that fit in?
Can it be more than understand? I tell you what. So she says something else. She had to know to be sure. Maybe Rashi will help us.
Chosin the Chaz over there. Chosin the Chaz.
There's a Rashi on this thing. The Shlama Hatam.
Yeah.
Hatam, where we're talking about a Yeruka.
Yeah.
Kabesh, got that? Rashi?
That's
The Shlama Hatam. It's in the white lines in the middle. Shlama Hatam. It's okay over there. It's well and good over there. Kabesh Shosh Nafal Al Adam.
Babor.
Babor. Ika. The Tarutse, you can explain it. With Tarutzin on Hatam. The high. To Lochatlin Alev. They don't kill him to the shore for doing this. Chalin Alev B'Negichot Bishonot. Apparently the shore was in the previous glory. What 3 times?
Right, he glored previously. What happened there? Kagon, for example.
Kagon shechaza Yeruka. Lochatlin Alev B'Negichot Bishonot Kagon. The chaza Yeruka, he saw a yerek, nafal, and he fell. Shlo b'kavanah. He didn't have kavanah to fall. Alzer, shira is alzer, on a person, I guess.
I guess the person was in the board, right?
Right.
And the shura
Shara Esev betoch piabor, and he saw an Esev, or something, a weed, something, betoch piabor, in the opening of the bore, or valachla, and he came to eat it, and he fell in the fowl. So what does this mean? This means
So it means it really was unintentional, meaning
unintentional.
that he didn't have any real kavanah to jump on people that they're in the pit, right? He happened to just want this yerek. So isn't that similar to our case? He's rubbing on a kosel and he knocks the kosel down and then kills a person. Isn't it similar to the case where he was interested in this vegetable on the rim of the pit, and he went after the vegetable and he fell on the guy?
Right.
Fell on the guy.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. We're still working it out. We have to understand what the Gemora is doing with all this. Meaning,
Maybe it's a problem with the board now. If the Titans stay on the board, maybe if somebody falls in the board.
Yeah.
Who's Hashem maybe?
Is there a word for that?
I don't know.
But how can you make? That's the question. How can you make a move when he wasn't miscommon for that? Unless he's a mood for not being careful. Can you
It could be a more without killing, intentionally. You can't be a more. You can't be a more without intentionally killing.
That's the question. We
Yeah.
seem to not. That normally mood means he has intention to kill. I mean, there's no mood. If there's no intention, there's no mood. He's not mood. Unless he's mood to not be careful. Like every time he gets on the edge of a pit.
That is called muad also.
Could be, but based on this last point, it could be that's what the Gemora is trying to
Maybe he had a tik already, the guy.
Huh?
Maybe he had a tik already, right?
Yeah.
That's
So
what
why
he said.
didn't he die?
He ran away, I guess. So lo katin alei b'nikichot v'shonot.
He was hungry.
He wasn't killed for the
He
first
ran away.
nikiot.
He ran away. He's hungry.
Okay. We'll see what we can do with it.